All right, we are back here, 2011 World Cup. We got Aftershock taking on Vicious. I am Matty Marshall, and I am up here with Nikki Cuba, and we are about to watch these two teams throw down Midwest battle. Nikki, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling real good right now.
Yeah.
You know, we just came off of
great win.
2 good wins.
Super.
You know, and coming off of yesterday.
Especially that last one.
Yeah, especially the last one. You know, we've been having a bad record with the Russians, and we finally stepped up, brought it together as a team, really clicked on communication and teamwork, and just found out what they were doing, and we were able to do adjustments just like they usually can do. And they actually adjusted to us in mid-game as well with their coaching staff. They read what we were doing, they made those adjustments, they shot us out, and they brought it back to a game.
Well, what I really like to see out of you guys was that, you know, you were beating the brakes off them in the beginning, and then, you know, sometimes it happens to you guys. It happens to every team, but all of a sudden, it was like flat. They started ruining you guys real quick, if you're an Infamous fan, you're like, oh my God, no, it's the ship is going down.
It's Infamous again.
It's Infamous, no. Come on, be consistent, boys. And then, sure enough, boom, you guys kick it right back up. The last like couple points are just hardcore in-your-face battle. That's the type of paintball I loved. It was a great match. It was like, if you're a paintball fan, that was an amazing game.
It was just great for me to see the kids come up. You know, they're not even kids, but they're my kids. You know,
yeah.
We got Zach Wake and Damien and Brad and Greg Sewers.
Brad's a good pickup for you guys.
Yeah,
man. He's been playing solid on the mostly on the Snake side. You
yeah,
know?
he had a little rough going in the Russian game,
but
that happens.
That happens. But
you know, as a Snake player, you're kind of
it's high risk.
High risk, right in the line, and you're trying to do damage. You're trying to do a little bit more work, and you got a lot more guns on you.
Yeah.
So you just got to pick and choose your battles wisely.
So I want to pick your brain a little bit about more your team, your team, Infamous, and then the other teams out there. But right now, we got Vicious taking on Aftershock. Talk to me about this matchup.
Right now, Aftershock, probably to me, is playing a little bit better. Not so much better that Vicious can't win this game, but Vicious definitely has to come out playing hard.
Because Vicious beat Impact 3-7 or
exactly
7-3 yesterday.
After coming off of a 7-0 loss, Dynasty, though. So then they were able to get it back together. But I'm wanting to see if they could come out off the breaks hot.
Yeah.
Maybe not the first game like they did yesterday. You know, yesterday they came out real slow, just same play over and over again, and they didn't try and make adjustments. And I believe in that second game they made those adjustments that they needed to.
Yeah, and adjustments are the key. You know, at this level of play, man, you are constantly making adjustments mid-point, mid-game, mid-tournament, all the time. It's a constant adjustment game. And, yeah, I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to do that. And then also Shock, man, so hot and cold. You know, sometimes Shock is out there, I'm like, wow, these guys are phenomenal. And other times I'm like, who are these guys? You know, so... All right, here we go. We're about to watch it go down. You're looking at Vicious right now. Look at that, Brian Bortle breaking out. And he gets into the insert bunker on the Snake side, and it looks like he gets taken out.
Shock loses a guy off Dorito side, but instantly fills that gap. Vicious matches, goes Dorito 1.
Yeah, Zach Sherman able to get into Dorito. I'm sorry, not Zach Sherman, but yeah, able to get into Dorito 1. So.
Aftershock matching him in Dorito 1. And here we have guns up. All 4 guns on each side are up. Vicious trying to move into the God bunker right before the Snake. He's alive. Made a nice move. Big man coming out of the back center. Makes a nice fill to cut down that Dorito side right now. And he's able to contain that whole Dorito side from coming down that field right now from Dorito 1.
How do you feel about this layout? Oh, here we go. Big move by Aftershock. Yeah, I mean, this layout's been really interesting as far as, you know, counter moves, I think. It's like a counter move field.
Exactly. It's just back and forth. And Vicious going to run down that 50 Dorito, but he gets taken. And Shock Guy as well.
Alive? Oh, Sosine.
Trade out.
So Sosine gets taken down. So nice job by Vicious. Hey, that was a great battle over there on the Dorito side. Dorito side completely clear now. Neither team really has any presence over there.
Nope, they're from those center towers over, and they're both looking the same way.
But Nick Sloviak gets taken out, and Snake, you can see, he's very disappointed in that death right there. Not a good death for Nick. He's trying to make something happen, and Snake won.
You know, you got to get down and dirty in that Snake. You can't be coming in there lazy, legs up in the air. That's what he did. He got clipped in his foot, and Vicious was able to capitalize on that, on him doing a sloppy dive in there. Vicious coming away with that first point.
Nice job. And Parker Rosenthal, great job getting in the Snake over here. As you see, big Chris Hooker in that back center. you know, such a dominant gunfighter and a great shot off the break.
Yeah.
That's such a big part to paintball. People don't understand. They're like the linemen of paintball.
Exactly.
You know, you guys.
They don't get that much love,
you don't
just
get that
like the
much love.
linemen.
Yeah, exactly. But you're doing such a fundamental, crucial job. If
Yes.
you do not have the guys, A, shooting off the break to kill people off the break, B, putting other players in to make moves, and then C, supporting their front players so they can get in there and do the damage. And I think that's such an integral part to the. It's like,
it is, especially on this field right now with this field, is breakout.
Totally.
And it happens every once in a while with the field layouts. It's total breakout.
Absolutely. Let's check out this replay. You're looking, this is Vicious right here on your screen. You're breaking out from the left-hand side. And Brian Bortle trying to get out on that snake side. He ends up getting clipped right away, so immediately. So that's good shooting by Aftershock up the break. Now let's look at that shooting for Aftershock. Look at that. They singled up the center. And so I think it
was that center tower.
Yeah, it was the center tower.
Shooting cross field.
Yeah, shooting cross field. So it's the complex lanes. It's not just, okay, well, let's double up the back center and switch the guns. No, it's multiple different looks.
Yeah, because what they're doing, guys out there that are watching, Aftershock let him believe that he could take that spot on the break, that God bunker right before the snake, and gave him everything in front, no one shooting at him. So he just believed that he could make it. And then in the last cut where he's diving and crawling in the deep part, that's where that center tower comes into play and chops that dude down.
Yeah. And it's those breakdowns. Like, you have to be able to dissect the game at home or back at the hotel at night when you've scouted, and also bring in the practice of elements from practice. But it's a continual evolvement of the game plans. Like we said, adjustments.
Exactly. But we got to see if Vicious makes that adjustment, if they have the coaching staff and the smarts from the players to go in there and tell the pit coach, hey, I'm getting shot from this spot. I can't make that spot.
Well, here we go. About to go down right now. So Vicious starting with 4 guys.
Vicious loses another guy off the break.
And I don't think, does Vicious have a penalty?
I believe that they didn't get enough guys out there.
Wow. So that is a mental error on Vicious's part. I do not know why.
Maybe
they
coaching.
Only fielded 4 players. It's a big mistake right here. And they lose Parker Rosenthal off the break.
Getting shot right in his face trying to get out to that corner.
Oh, and Brian Bortle getting chopped up too, so no one on the snake side right now. It's all Aftershock over here on the snake side. So now Aftershock aggressively pushing up the field. And Aftershock, Nikki, only running with 7 guys. They only have 7 players at this event.
Yep. And I don't think that as a problem, or an advantage. It's just whatever you want to go with. If you want to have the 10 bodies, you can. If you want to have 7 and that's all you want to run with, that's fine. Maybe they don't want to have too many guys that they could plug in the spots. Maybe they have to get these guys going and warmed up.
Hey, if they got the cardio and they got the tank to do it, and they got the talent, then it's not necessarily a bad move.
But
and I was
what if someone gets hurt?
I was talking to Nick about that because I was like, talking to him about the roster, and I was like, 1, 2, 3, I was like, 7. You guys are running a little light, huh? And he was like, Nick gets a little sensitive sometimes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We still there, guys. Burn internet.
Yeah, talk to me about that. What happened with that? You got Damian Ryan and Brad McCurley, and they've done time with Shock.
Yeah, we had a bad outing at the last event in 7-man, and we wound up getting disqualified and stuff like that, and we had to make some adjustments on our team. Make some cuts.
And you lost
some
Marcelo,
people.
too.
Yeah, Marcelo got hurt. We were missing out on him and his legs.
We'll get to that in a second, but let's watch this breakout. Look at that. Breakout from Aftershock. Able to spread the field. And they're only looking at 4 bodies because for some reason Vicious did not put 5 bodies on the field. They didn't have anyone in the box, and there was no penalty on the clock. So I guess it was just a mental error. So frustrating. And look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Last minute, they had guys running out and touching up, and it started with 4 bodies, and then they immediately lose their player on the snake side, and then there's just curtains after that.
I mean, if you're coming in late like that, the coach has to call a timeout and regroup.
Yeah.
So what if it's early on? I'd rather go out there early on, call that timeout, instead of making this a 1-1 game. I want it 2-0.
Yeah.
Make the timeout happen. You lose it, but at least you don't lose that point that way. Maybe you lose the point, but don't lose it that way.
Exactly. You don't want to lose the point that way. That's so frustrating because then it's like we're down 20% of our force.
Yes.
That's what happens. You lose 1 guy, that's 20% of your force. So very frustrating situation. But now, hey, look at this. It's 1-1. 1 billion hits on the clock still. It's anyone's game. Let's see who wants to win.
Yeah, you're going to see Brian Bortle, I think, trying to keep on pressing that issue on coming up into this snake. But instead of going to the God bunker or the snake on the break, I think he's just going to try and widen out and go to that corner bunker and maybe not stay up running and shooting like his buddy did Parker.
Yeah.
You got to get down and dirty. This is World Cup. Lanes are on. Paint's great, especially if you're shooting
training
evil
all year. Yeah. So here we go. on the breakout. Big move all the way
Colby
to
making it to the snake. Aftershock making it to the snake. Aftershock dropping one body. 5 alive for Vicious right now.
So it looks like Templeton coming off for Aftershock early. So 4 bodies still alive, but 3 of them are on the Dorito side.
Yep.
1 player over here on the snake side, man. He's really going to have to clock in here because he's looking at 2 bodies.
It's a snake battle going on right now. They're down the lines on each other. Colby waiting for the opportunity that he's going to get from...
Oh, Colby just got nicked. Did not get small enough, man. Barely. It looked like...
Over the top from that center tower. It comes in there. You know, especially on the beam and the knuckle where it meets. You can bounce balls in there.
Yeah. And it's a tough spot, man, because if you're tall in one of those spots, you can arc paintballs in.
And we're going to look at Bortle.
Shock's got some tall guys.
I think Bortle's going to get hit with the same shot because he's playing a little bit loose. And that guy's shooting it.
So he is. He's shooting the same shot. Bortle's, you know, Colby and Bortle both about the same size. So let's see if Bortle can get smaller than his
Hooker
boy.
just made a nice shot on that Dorito side tower.
God, Hooker's a beast in the gunfights, man. Real good at gunfighting.
Look at him, and he's going up. He's following up his buddy. No one's having a communication on Aftershock sideline.
Oh, and look at this. Sosine trying to do damage control over there.
Trades out.
And then here comes
now
Brian. Bortle's going to run the highway, and his coaches tell him, I think, they trade out. So Zach Patient and Brian Bortle trade out with each other. And
that's textbook. Right there, that's textbook. It's a 2-on-1 situation. You have the opportunity to go run that guy down. Run him down.
Yeah, every time.
Run him down.
Every time. So good.
Don't do anything too much. You know, if you get shot, you get shot. Leave it as a 1-on-1.
And you know, it's very good of Brian to see that opening, because if he had waited a little bit of time, that move might not have been there. Because, you know,
or he might have got shot on the run.
Exactly, because, you know, chaos is happening. You got to take those moments. I was up here with Jamie Abbott from Nexus, and he was saying, you know, there's such a big difference between the speed at this level, even with the pros that play in the Millennium Series. I mean, obviously, you know, we all go over there. Great players, great teams over there. It's just, it's faster here. You know, it's faster. The windows open and close quicker. And if your mind is not processing the game at that level of speed, you're going to have issues out here. So good job by Brian to step up.
Yeah, you can't even, you know, break it down into how many thoughts and things that you have to break down within like 2 seconds, you know, of who's on you, where the balls are coming from, what the count is, what the body count is, make those moves. Especially in this league, like you're saying, it's just so fast-paced that that window, like you said, it's just open for a second, and you got to take advantage of it every time. If you don't, it's going to come back to bite you.
All right, let's check out this replay. So, boom, there it was, that shot on Colby. And he was tight. He was pretty tight on there. Just able, you know, Sosine, just a very tall guy, was just able, but look at that. Brian Bortle immediately fills that spot. And now Zach Patient getting checked by the referee. And here comes Brian Bortle running the highway. You know, obviously, Aftershock's coaches are screaming from the sidelines, highway, so he knew which way to put his gun, but it doesn't matter. 2-on-1, even if you trade out, doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, the only thing that I think that he might have been able to do is get up to his feet and try and play that knuckle instead of just exposing his whole body and spinning around that knuckle to try and, you know, just run the clock on him.
That would have been smart, yeah. And then we saw Justin Rabikov actually have a really good move, though he's kind of struggled, at least this morning, a little bit. But he did have a really good move where he was getting run down, spun out wide, ducked in, used the bunker, perfect cover. All right, let's check out this breakout here.
Zach making it in the snake for Aftershock, and he's usually the Dorito side pressure, but they have switched it up. Maybe in practice he's just been stepping up on the snake side.
You know, I've seen a lot of that actually from different teams. Like, for instance, Holiday is getting a lot of spins over here on the snake side, and I actually talked to him, and I was like, dude, you're wrecking it over here on the snake side. He's like, well, I was at practice. Guys weren't making it in there. I'm like, why aren't you getting in there? You've done this before. It's like, well, I'll get in there. Sure enough, they put him over there, and he's doing work.
Hey, that's where most of the, you know, Holiday, Patton, both these guys have started over in those Doritos, and now they're bringing it to the snake side because, to me, I love the snake. Snake is the best bunker on the field.
Yeah, it's definitely the most dominant structure out there. It's made to be that way intentionally. So here goes Zach Patient, gunned up right now.
On Colby.
Yeah, Colby. So
Vicious losing another guy, support
now
guy.
Zach is going to go and trade out with Colby, which is going to be fine because he's got Nick Sloviak behind him. And Parker Rosenthal got shot out of that back bunker too, so it's just...
gives himself up.
I think
it was a one-on-one.
Yeah, but it was, and so nice job by...
He was like going the retreat to the back center or something.
Yeah,
why would you do that?
Nick Sloviak's still alive, so good job. Getting a lot of questions from PB Nation. Had tons of questions, you know. So Nikki, what can guys out there do to try to improve their skills, other than say take a clinic from you, you know? Or
no, they got to go to a Nikki Cuba clinic. No, man, it's just play against the best people in your area. Don't just set the bar at being being the bully around and just beating up on the little kids or just guys that aren't better than you. Go against the best guys, and then once you're done with them, move on to the next state. Go beat those guys. Move on to the next state. Yep. Go beat those guys. Then go in national tournaments and beat those guys.
And I think that's a huge point, man. If you're not playing guys that are better than you, you're not serious. There's Nick Slowiak right there on your screen.
You're not setting your bar high enough. You're not pushing yourself to the furthest limits that you can.
Well, to me, you don't really want to get better. You just, and which is cool. Hey, if you want to go out and play, paintball's fun, man. And if your aim is just to have a good time, more power to you. That's awesome. You have a good time. Go play and smash the guys at your field. That's great. But if you really, truly, really want to get better at this game, if you're not playing guys that are better than you, then you're never going to get better. You know, you're going to be smashing the local guys at your field. And if you're the best out there, you know, that's the only way to get better is to up your competition.
Yeah, it's like, are you the best at paintball in your area? Fine. Well, be the best in your area at being the fastest, having the most cardio, being stronger, you know, go in the gym. You know, that's how, you know, I've been able to bring my game up to another level. It is working on the other things, my other attributes that aren't as good as, you know, say my right-handed gun skills or stuff like that. You know, maybe I wasn't the fastest guy out there, but I'm going to be the fastest guy out there because I want it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, but it's like making, we've discussed this before, previous webcasts, and about to start this game in 10 seconds, but I think the point is, and I want to talk about this in a little bit, but it's about making your weaknesses your strengths. You've been very good at that, you know, and like look at a guy like Tampa Bay Damage, Jason Edwards. You know, I mean, he's like as fit as you could possibly be now, and he made his body that way. It was a mental intention.
Oh yeah, because he was a fat kid. Yeah. That's what was his nickname.
His nickname was Fat Kid.
And he didn't want to be known as the fat kid, and he wanted to be on the best team. You know, he wanted to be in the professional ranks, and he did what it takes. And here we are. You know, you got Vicious, Shock, 5 against 5, 2-2,
tied up.
14 left in the game.
Great game so far. Back and forth battle. Brian Bortle in a really good field position right now, trying to get to the 50-yard line on the snake.
Shock losing that back corner on the Dorito side. And the Dorito side presence now. Now Vicious has the opening. The guy in the Doritos right now for Vicious should be wrapping around that bunker, containing anyone from trying to fill out. Close the game down. No one's even looking at him, and he's just shooting inside. Every Aftershock player's on the snake. Finally, he's making the move. But he shot too early. You know, you got to take advantage of the real estate when they give it to you. Like the windows that we said, when they're open, they're only open for milliseconds.
And you have to seize that advantage. If you have an advantage, man, and you're at this level and you're not taking it, well, you know, then you're going to be taking 8th place, 10th place. You know, it's the only way to compete for, you know, the prize, the money, the respect.
Yep. And Vicious just dropping a body. So now it's 4-on-3. Aftershock having one guy in the snake, one guy behind him in the back corner.
Drew Templeton almost getting a shot on Vicious there, cross field at the 50-yard line. Dorito who's in a really good spot, and absolutely Bortle just destroys Sosine. And I think that actually might have been Hooker. Couldn't quite tell. Either way, regardless, Sosine gets destroyed by either Bortle.
I like how Bortle's playing this right now.
Bortle wants it, man. You can tell. Look at that.
There you go.
Makes him pay the toll. Drew Templeton's going to wear a couple on his side. And actually, Drew Templeton used to play with Vicious, too.
Yeah, so there must be some bad blood there.
So the score is going to be 3-2 now in favor of Vicious, and this is probably one of our most closely contested matches of the day.
Yeah, it's just back and forth, you know, blow for blow. And Shock right now has to get out there and stay alive and not get shot out of your bunker, you know, and not get shot at the same time off the same side of the field. You know, you're just giving them the game.
Yeah. That was I played the Ironman yesterday, actually, in their loss that they had, where, you know, I was talking to Pax, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, I look over and just see a sea of red coming off, and that's the worst feeling ever." That was the same thing for us
yesterday against Tampa. You know, it was, you know, dropping bodies. We were up on penalty, shot guys on the break, and wound up losing the point. And it was just mental error mistakes because people are trying to push too much, myself included.
You know, another question coming in from PB Nation again. You know, trying to answer as many questions as possible. Again, we got to speak to the game, but you know, Billy Wing's retiring next year. We got, you know,
new news for me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, he's moving to Florida. Just bought a house out here. And
why? It's hot.
It's cold today. This morning, it's actually beautiful right now.
Such a
gorgeous. Well, whatever. New York, New York.
I love my Cali sun.
Yeah.
85 degrees.
This is perfect, beautiful.
All year round, no snow.
365 days a year of perfection. It's called San Diego, baby.
Hey, that's going to be a huge hit for them. You know, you could say what you want about Billy Wing. That dude has been
a baller
on that team for like 35 years and has won many championships, has been the captain, and has just supported that team.
And I think that, well, and the question, and it's coming from Junior Brown, but I think that and we love Junior, but I think that I
love Junior.
What are we going to do, about all these, we can't let Billy Wing and other players, John Richardson,
major
be
for Aftershock.
Oh, so Zach Patient getting a major penalty. Look at Nick Sloviak is incredibly angry as he looks over in dismay. Has Zach Patient incredibly frustrated at the referee's call.
Yep. And that's just another mental error coming from players.
Now Colby and another Vicious player walking off. So what was going to be an advantage for Vicious, the major penalty, is now it's a tie game right now.
Yeah, but there's got to be a mental communication right now. Communication across the board for Aftershock. Slow down, run the clock, get our guy out of the box.
Yeah, and it's not a tie game. It's actually Vicious 3, Shock 2, but right this second, it's 3-on-3.
Exactly, that's what I meant. Maddie just told you what I meant. He's in my head.
But better field position for Shock now as they have the 50-yard line Dorito.
It is better, but it's just like this snap shooting battle going on right here. He's able to make that move, and he does. Gets bounced, checking it. Shock guy still alive in the 50 Dorito, shooting crossfield and in front of him, going crazy.
And
gets
living
the
on
kill.
The edge, but he gets the kill. So Vicious coming off on that Dorito side of the field, and now
Aaron Tholey filling up in the Dorito 1 behind his buddy, and now it's a 3-on-1. Brian Bortle, last guy, but they blew the horn. Concede the point, save the time.
There it was. So Tholey going to grab the flag.
He doesn't
heard the horn.
He doesn't know. He's a new guy.
Yeah, it's his first rodeo.
His first rodeo.
Tholey, first tournament. Congratulations, Aaron Tholey.
No, he was actually playing good at the last event.
Yeah, Tholey's a vet now, man.
Yeah.
He's been around for, oh, God, I want to say like 6-7 years now?
Since I accidentally kicked that door handle into his head. Jeez, my bad.
I love Tholey. Tholey's a great kid, man. He's not a kid, he's a grown man, but at the same time, So, yeah, but it's like talking about a lot of these guys are retiring, but I think that, and this is, I'm going to really try hard next year. I want to start doing a lot of content as far as the history of the sport is concerned. It's like I was talking to Shane Pastana, and I think it's really sad. You got Shane Pastana walking. Shane Pastana should be getting swarmed for autographs when he walks around. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a legend of the sport, man. I mean, that guy, he's a hero of mine.
And many other people that have played out here, from Woods to airball. That transition from Woods to hype ball to airball. He was there. He was one of the greats, is one of the greats, always will be. Won championships, was a leader of the Ironman captain team, and was an amazing coach for me.
Exactly. Got a question coming in from PB Nation directly for you. So you had a practice at CFP against Texas Storm and the Russians. Do you think that Texas Storm has what it takes to be in the pro ranks again?
They played good with us. It was a good practice. We weren't shooting the best paint, so we were bouncing them and stuff like that. But no, they, if they want to come in, come in. I welcome all challengers. I want everyone to come in and make this league bigger and better. So yeah, bring them in. I love to stomp people out, especially from Texas.
Yeah, I like that though. I feel the same feeling. It's, to me, we could sit here and argue the merits of a specific team, but honestly, until you get in the ring and get in between that netting and you throw down, who knows, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Everyone
all
was
questions are answered out there. We can talk until we're blue in the face up here or in the media. That means nothing ultimately at the end of the day. What really means is what happens out there. So that's
everyone was putting Nexus down before they even got here.
Yep.
Those guys played good. All right, they came in to play. They played hard. They played hungry.
And they didn't have
not so much
result
today.
They wanted. Yeah, they got stomped today a little bit, but yesterday they played you guys and the Russians, and they came back against the Russians.
They came back against us.
And then they almost beat you guys, drove you to overtime. I mean, that's noble. I respect that.
Yeah.
Especially because they weren't scared. They were like, yeah, let's go to America and see what we got.
Exactly.
Please, I want more of that. So if you guys are out there and, but that speaks to, it's a challenge. Biting off whatever you think you can handle and seeing what you're made of.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to your grave being like, oh, I really wish when I was younger I had tried a little harder to prove to myself that I was an amazing paintball player instead of just stomping out my local competition. Which again, if that's what you, if this is a fun thing and if that's what you want to do, but if what you want to do is be great and to be one of the best and to get better, then assume that challenge for yourself.
Yeah, challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself. Because at the end of the day, this is ultimately just you. You know what I'm saying? It's just, at the end, you know, it's like we were talking about, you know, if it's true that at the end of your life flashes before your eyes when you're dying, well, then the last story that you're ever going to hear is your story. So you better make that thing the most goddamn interesting thing that's ever happened, you know?
Then make it whatever you want, because that's what you could do. All right, we're coming up 15 seconds.
Here we go.
3-3, back and forth battle, like we said. 11:30 left on the clock. Who do you got in this point? We got a penalty on the clock, 2 for Aftershock still,
well,
1 minute.
I got to go with Vicious then. They're on the power play, so let's see if they can step up here. No, I noticed Brian Bortles sitting this point.
Yeah, they keep on getting Colby because he's making his spot. And Parker is just having a problem all day. And he has to go back in, talk to his coach, and let him know, hey, I'm not playing paintball right now. Get someone in there that can. You know, I'd run Colby and Bortle at the same time. Combo. 2 fast snake guys. Run this penalty. Bring the pressure.
I love that. I would do that same thing. And now Vicious making moves over there on the Dreidel side, so better field position for Vicious. And Shock, it looks like they only have 2 bodies left alive right now,
Nick
Nikki.
and Susie.
Sosine, yeah. Just Slowiak and Sosine. They got a body in the box. It's about to come out. 25 seconds till Shock's penalty ends. Oh,
another major
penalty
for
on Nick Slowiak.
And that's going to end this point with 15 seconds on the clock. Put someone else in the box. No one's in the box. If they run it back,
Nick's got to stop arguing and get in the box. And you can argue after the point. Nick, get in the box.
And Nick didn't get in the box. Our boy Zach is mad, throwing fists at the netting. I think he might have hurt his hand on the netting.
What a frustrating turn of events for Aftershock right now, as they have 4 seconds on the minor, and which will come off, and then 2 minutes on that major. In case you're just tuning in, you're watching Chicago Aftershock taking on Vicious. I'm Matty Marshall. I'm up here with Nikki Cuba, and we got ourselves a hotly contested match. 4-3 is the score in favor of Vicious, but right now Aftershock shooting themselves in the foot, and with the uncharacteristic major penalty in a clutch moment right there.
2 of them.
Nick Slowiak, and it's frustrating to see that because, you know, Nick's a pretty composed guy.
He is, and they had about, you know, another 15 seconds just to hold out and hit their penalty off, and they'll be back at full speed, 5 bodies alive. Now they're going to have 2 guys in there. One guy's going to come out in 4 seconds, and the other guy's going to have to sit in there for 2 minutes.
Very, very frustrating. So, you know, we just saw, look at Sosine. You know, Sosine's pretty solid for Shock. You know, he's one of those role players, and you need guys like that. A guy that's going to go to a temple, shoot guys out. Let's watch this replay real quick. So you're looking at Nick Slowiak right now, and he's shooting cross field at the Dreidel side, and you know, oh, look at that, takes a hit, loads his pod, and then asks for a check. I'll tell you what, Nikki, and I'm going to have to advise you on this too, and I'm telling everyone this. You know, the refs are being very, very strict.
Hey, they should be.
No,
I like it, but call
agree.
it across the board.
Yeah.
Make sure it's the same for everyone.
I think they kind of have been, honestly, because they're not being shy about throwing majors and throwing penalties in general. But, you know, it's the cup, it's this cup, and guys are going to try to get away with stuff, and can you really blame them, you know, and you're a referee?
Yeah, no, you can't blame the refs. They got to do their job.
No, they got to do their job. So there's Nicholas. Again, I love the guy, great guy. Very composed, very smart. And unfortunately, though, now they're going to have to start with 3 bodies. And
Aaron Tolley's saying that he shot this guy going to the snake. They fell out. Zach Patton making it out of that box, alive, getting checked out by Big Man Fish. And he's still good. So Aftershock, 3 bodies against 5 on Vicious. Colby and the snake. Bortle. Nice. They put that combo in that I said.
Yeah.
They got Bortle in that finger.
I think that's a great combo.
Yeah,
because they're both playing well.
It is. And if one could play the role of the back guy and support, then they could be a deadly combo.
Yeah, because at any moment make that spot.
Exactly.
You know? And
that comes with you know, more repetition, more games. more situations.
So they put Sosine in the back corner over here, and he gets taken out, and then Zach gets shot as well, so it's not looking good. Boral getting chewed up, though, in here.
Oh, and he gets chewed up, too.
Wow, I love how this game, these guys are just throwing down right now. This is the Midwest paintball, man. I really dig it. Oh, look at this.
Oh, Hooker has his gun down and shot him.
Oh, my God, Hooker did not get a ball.
Aaron Thole.
Aaron Thole balling out of
maybe
control.
get a major. Maybe get another one.
Was it a penalty?
Simo. And Colby did the right thing. He ran, grabbed the flag, and ran it in. He didn't even worry about Thole.
I'll tell you what, man.
Heads up play.
I'm incredibly impressed at both these teams right now. This is how paintball should be played. They're going at each other with, trench knives and brass knuckles, and it's bloody out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this. We have 9 minutes and 14 seconds left, and we've seen this many points scored already. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be 5-3. So
yeah, it's just
this
a battle,
is exciting, back and forth. I really am impressed.
I like
at both
these teams. They don't like each other. They're fighting for that Midwest, championship, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure.
Top dog in the Midwest.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is bragging rights.
Aftershock has held those reins for so long. And Fish is this new up-and-coming team trying to take it.
Yeah, here we go. Let's check out this replay. So you're looking there down on the bottom of your screen, the snake side trying to come up, and Vicious is just full court press sometimes, man. And that's the best thing about this game is that it's not just the snake side, it's not just the Dorito side. I mean, and then we saw Brian Borno go up the center. You know what I'm saying? So this is World Cup paintball. I'm very impressed with both these teams from the Midwest. And regardless of who wins, I don't. At this point, I have friends on both of these teams. I respect both of these teams. I don't really care who wins at this point because I'm incredibly entertained at this point. I wish every single game was like this.
4-3, Vicious leading 9 minutes, but I don't know if you know, Matt, but Vicious is going to start out this point with a penalty.
Ooh,
Shock also starting with a penalty.
I think they might have hung it then, maybe with
dirty.
Yeah, a dirty hang because
dirty, just like that kid tried to cheat me when I shot him in the one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, tell me that story, because we were calling this up here, and it looked like you got a shot on his foot, and he checked it, but then engaged. You went across, slipped, got right back up, and then he got a ball on you.
The whole time, I had no paint left. I had two balls,
he didn't
so
have
I was
any paint
backing
either.
up. I grabbed 2 balls up off the ground, put them in, and I was like, I got to commit. Went committed, shot him in the leg, and then I was kind of going forward, and then he had maybe 4 balls. He shot them all at me. He put some paint on me. The refs made the call, and then I was didn't want to point or talk or anything like that.
Yeah, I was actually impressed at your composure at that point because the Nicky Cuba 5 years ago would have been flipping his lid, going crazy.
I've been yelled at so many times by you and Rich and everybody.
Well, you learned your lesson. And we need to get back to that making your weaknesses your strength. But first of all, look at this sack. Peyton. Huge move. Yeah, Peyton
4-3. Patton in the 50. Thole in the 50. Putting pressure on Vicious right now. 21 seconds left for Vicious's penalty. 5 seconds left for Shock's penalty. Shock's going to be at full steam ahead.
And now
Nick Sloviak's out.
Coming out of the box, and here comes Aftershock just charging down that Dorito side and the snake side. Zach Patient past the 50-yard line.
Vicious penalty coming off in 2 seconds. But
Zach's in really good position to shoot that box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets a shot on him. So nice job by Zach. And Shock really looks like they're about to tie this game up.
Brian Portal just got taken. 1 guy left. And he's done.
Hell of a game.
Yeah, 4-4.
Hell of a game.
Even across the board now, 5-on-5. This is what we want to see.
Yep.
We don't want to see the penalties.
So yeah, both teams are going to be at full strength. It's going to be tied up as long as the hang is clean. And look at that. Slowiak redeeming himself, hangs the flag. So, got another question from BB Nation. What do we think about the leagues merging? First of all, I think it's a great idea. Combine our resources.
Agreed.
There'll be less events, but they'll be way better, way bigger. I think that, paintball has fought against itself for so long, and I think that if the forces are combined, as far as what we can do
is endless.
So let's check out a replay first before we talk more about that. You're looking at Zach Patient, and look at that. He's playing great, man. Playing absolutely awesome, and it also is going to help that.
Well, after he got a 5 minute, he needs to play good.
And on the opposite side of the field, his team was wrecking shop on the Dorito side. So really, other guys, the Vicious players in front of him are looking to the Dorito side of the field. So, but still, nice job by him to capitalize on that. Use the advantage that he had, and we have ourselves a tie game right now. 4-4, 7:47 left, and this game, Unless all of a sudden they decide to start slow playing it, I don't see this going to time. You know, we've had 8 points scored. There's still 8 minutes left in this game, man.
It's just quick points, you know,
straight up
mental mistakes by people. So the other team has been able to capitalize. And as soon as it happens, they do it. And crowd's going crazy over here. They're having a great time. We're packed out here at Fantasy of Flight down in PSP World Cup. 7:40 left. About to start this game in 20 seconds. Shock. Who they got coming out here? I think they got Zach. I think they're letting Nick sit out one.
They got
Thole.
They got Sosine.
Yep. I think Drew Templeton.
Yep, Drew Templeton. Solid lineup.
Yeah.
And again, Aftershock is playing with 7 players. They only have 7 players on the roster.
And right now, Vicious is going just with Bortle, no Colby, and they got Parker back in. I think they're going to try and send him out to this can.
Yeah, Parker's got to step up this point. It's a huge point for both teams right now. And Parker and Bortle both make it in clean over on Snake's
Parker's
side.
having a problem with his gun over there.
Yeah, you're looking at that on your screen right now. That's Parker Rosenthal, second guy deep there on your screen. In the red beanie, Brian
Zach
Bortle.
Patient, getting taken out.
Brian wants to make a move. You can tell, look at him, he's getting froggy. And now you're looking at that cross-field spread, and no one in the center of the field yet, but both teams look real strong. 5 alive for Vicious and for Aftershock. Look at this, Trip Hooker out in the dead zone. Ghosting out all the way, makes it out into the corner.
Smart move, because now they can do a 2-man operation, work this center guy off of Brian to help Brian get in this snake and widen out the field, but Brian gets taken right in his eyepiece. Nice shot from Drew Templeton from that second bunker outside towards Snake's side.
Yeah, so
4 on 4.
Yeah, 4 on 4. Both these teams, like, this is a tense moment right now because they understand time is starting to tick off. It's all tied up, and now we're getting to those money moments. This is the money moment right here. You know, this is where everything's.
This is what you dream of when you play.
Yeah, this is where you want to be.
You want to do it. You know, you want to do it with your teammates. They got to work together. They can't just do it on their own. So right now, matched up on that Snake God bunker, Vicious and Shock. Also, Vicious has Dorito 1 and Shock has Dorito 1. Very similar spots except for the Snake corner and the plate over on Dorito's side. That's the difference. And that plate really slows down Dorito 1, Matt.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, we got another penalty.
Getting a major, worst moment to get the major penalty as we were tied up. And Big Fish, the head referee, trying to figure out which guy to pull. But then they also lose Sosine out of there. At the same time, they pull Thole out. So it's not looking good right now as there's only one Aftershock player left on the field.
And he's going to die going forward. I love this.
Yeah.
Try and make it happen.
Hey.
You got to try and
Drew
make
Templeton. Nice job. Drew is a soldier, and he realizes that it's just him, so he giddies up, tries to get a guy, and try to make something happen.
Yeah, and Hooker knows that there's a penalty. When there's a major penalty, you run that flag in, conserve as much time as possible.
So look at this. Vicious is going to be going up here in the Battle of the Midwest. And the score is going to be 5-4 in favor of Omaha Vicious.
We got Lawhead getting into one of the refs. He's not happy about that.
Yeah, AJ Lawhead very heated about that penalty that he got, which is just terrible timing to get a major penalty. But again, you know, if you're a player out there and you're faced with a situation, or just in general, you know, well, first let's get to this replay. All right, so you're checking this out right here. This is Lawhead. And the referee gets in there and checks him out, calls him out, and then calls the penalty. And Lawhead, you could tell by his body language, he didn't think he was going to get a penalty. But regardless, here, yeah, look at that. Lawhead just incredibly frustrated with himself and the referee probably because, you know, you can tell he didn't feel like he deserved that. But, hey, man, again, and what the point I was going to make is that if you are playing on a day where the flags are flying, what is that? You need to learn from that.
Yeah.
And that means, okay,
learn from other people's mistakes.
It's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that being said, yeah, man, if it's a pretty liberal day with the penalties, then, you know, play a little tighter, man. You know, play tighter.
You gotta play tighter, especially at World Cup. Well, any event. You know, practice, you might be playing a little bit loose. You come to this event, you want to win, you got to play tighter. You got to play smarter. You got to shoot better, straighter, run faster. You got to do it all.
Yeah. So talking about that merger, as far as like the format is concerned, that's such a long conversation that me and Nikki could spend 30 hours talking about what better form, because it's a very complex discussion. But no one knows about that. I think that's.
I think we're going 20-man, right?
20-man would be sick.
20-man on this field.
20-man, no face masks.
15 balls a second.
25 balls a second. What is going on here? Oh my God! Complete disaster
from
for Vicious as they were up
losing
a point.
2 bodies,
and they heard a horn maybe from the opposite field.
But Shock losing their widest guy on Dorito's side. Mental mistake. He had no one even shooting at him because those guys ran out early and couldn't even shoot. So he got shot after he made the bunker.
Oh, so frustrating. If you're a Vicious fan out there as they lose 2 bodies for basically no reason.
Me, you're not going to call that as a major. That Sosine just wiped a loader hit.
Yeah, so Sosine getting taken out. I didn't see it. What happened?
He put his gun down like he was going to load, got clipped, and then went like this because he didn't see the ref right in front of him with his forearm.
Ballsy move.
Yeah.
Looks like he got away with it. So here we go. 4-5. Vicious still in the driver's seat right now.
Brian Bortle in the snake just shoots out Drew Templeton. Aaron Tholey, they're going out in packs.
So Aftershock completely throwing away a golden opportunity to tie this game up. And Brian Bortle streaking that flag in, and now Vicious 1 point away from taking this game.
Composure from Brian Bortle, and Parker finally had a game. That's when he needed to. And it doesn't matter when you have it.
Be clutch.
Yes. He was having a bad day, and right when his team needed him the most, he came through.
Yeah.
That's what you ask of your players. You know, every guy can't do it every game.
Just come through when we really need
you.
Yeah, and he did. So good job, Parker Rosenthal, stepping up, and especially, I mean, that's a gumption play right there. That's clutch. That's okay. Wow, we just lost 2 guys for no reason because of a horn. Let's check out this replay. So you're looking at Brian Bortle right now. So Brian Bortle rolling his gun. He's going to cut there towards the flag. Nice job by Brian Bortle. Brian Bortle is playing great right now. I think Brian Bortle's playing great. Colby was actually really, I mean, it's been seesaw back and forth. You know, like a lot of guys, some guys have been having great points and they'll go out and get a penalty. You know, and there's been a couple guys that have been pretty solid, but like, you know, I would say like Sosine was playing pretty solid, then he gets, it was just back and forth, man. This has been an insane game. This is one of the craziest games we've seen so far this weekend.
Yeah, so it's 6-4. Shock's still going to come out with 4 bodies. They got 35 seconds left on the penalty. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in this game. And I think what Vicious needs to do right now is pick on who they've been shooting out the most, and that's one of the corner guys. And they need to throw 2-3 guns on that guy and turn this game into a 5-on-3 battle.
Absolutely. Well, let's see what's going to happen. About 23 seconds to go before the start of this next point. Score 6-4 in favor of Vicious here. Battle of the Midwest boys. And Vicious so far with the advantage. And again, 1 point away in this race to 7. Let's see if these guys can play clean here. This has been a brutal, bloody, dirty game. I would expect no less from the best players from the Midwest, to be honest.
And Zach trying to make that snake. Bortle losing his goggles. He's got him on.
And if his goggles came off, he's eliminated. So well, it depends on how much they came off. If they just came off a little bit up his head, then he's okay. But if they came completely off,
out.
Yeah, he's eliminated. So Brian
he couldn't
Bortle,
get him back on by the time that the ref seen. If he was able to do that, he would have been fine.
Oh, so unfortunate.
I would have just ripped my goggles off and played no goggles. Not really.
Daryl Trent did that once.
He's not the smartest guy. Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Daryl Trent once slipped.
But a great guy.
He slipped and fell backwards, hit his back on the ground. Goggles flew off, and he didn't even miss a beat. Swung up, hands covering his eyes and blazing, couldn't even see. Daryl Trent, dude.
Oh man, and Vicious making a move off of Maddie telling old stories with me into the 50, and they're in great positions right now to keep him alive and contain the snake, so they could run down this clock some more. Right now they're in the driver's seat. It's 6-4. Shock has to come.
Shock must come.
Zach needs to talk to Aaron Tholey and tell him, hey, I need you to go to that corner. But he makes the move on his own. Luckily enough, he does make it. He's going to try and come up instead of wrapping around, which I don't think is a smart move.
Almost caught one all the way cross field as in the 50-yard line. Dorito is Vicious. Vicious is just pounding that lane right there.
Great move from Parker, moving from the God bunker to the back corner and lock this field out.
Yeah,
that corner can protect the 50 Dorito, no problem.
And And that's what needed to be done at that moment. So just like we were talking about, Parker struggling early on in this match, other boys around him stepping up, but now he's stepping up.
Now his teammates need him to step up, and he does, and that's good.
Because there's no one else over here right now. Brian Bortle had a bad luck call where he lost his goggles, and he came out, didn't even get shot. And now Parker, only player for Vicious over there, rolling his gun.
Socene just running around back and forth. He doesn't know where to plug himself in. He's looking for the move. He kind of has the ball right now, so to speak, because no one is shooting at him.
Yeah.
So,
and Aaron Tholey also, he's trying to back up Zach right now, who's in past the 50-yard line in the snake for Aftershock. But the time is ticking off this clock. They still have to score 2 points just to tie it, and they need to score in the next 30, 45 seconds.
What he needs to do, Aaron Tholey, is get in the snake one and shoot that tower. I mean, it's textbook. If you've walked the field and played this field, you know the shots.
And he's a veteran. He should know that shot. And here comes Socene, who goes and trades out with a 50-yard line Dorito, so nice job.
I mean, and that's fine for Vicious. That's bad for Aftershock.
Yeah, but something's got to happen. That's not. He had the ball, but at the same time, it's like, okay, now Zach Patience clocking in. Let's see what Zach can do here in the snake.
Nothing right now.
Yeah, almost got clipped by Parker.
Right in his back.
And that's probably going to be a penalty if he's hit.
Oh,
no,
bouncer.
It's clean. Time is not the friend of Aftershock right now.
1:30 left. 6-4. They got to close this game out and leave at least 45 seconds, and they're gonna. Zach Patton, patient, just shooting out the Dorito side. I don't know if he knows it, but there's still Hooker over there, and Parker in the corner, crossed up.
Parker's just literally been gunned up for about 3 minutes right now, straight up.
I wonder if he has any paint left.
I don't think he. I don't know. Can you tell from your angle? I can't see
it doesn't
from my
look
angle.
like it.
Yeah, it doesn't
he
look
might
like
have a pod.
Zach.
Right now, Zach's just trying to do work, and his teammates need to get in the game.
It's Tholey's.
Now he's in the middle of the field.
He's in the middle of the field.
And if I was Parker, I'd shoot him through the middle of the X.
I don't think Parker. Oh, and he gets him, but there's barely going to be enough time. It's just Parker Rosenthal versus 3.
Parker, just hide, Parker. Oh, and he gets hit.
Run that flag in.
They got to run
Aftershock.
it. They need about 30 seconds on the clock, and they can do it.
It's going to be close. So they got 35.
I think the fastest time was 25 seconds.
That's about right.
It was 25 seconds. I think it was.
The Russians had 2 real quick points against you guys when they were coming back in your game. They were right around 30 seconds.
Yeah, so it still didn't get the 25 seconds.
No,
I think I did that. Oh yeah, on Aftershock.
Oh, was it?
I think so. I'll give myself credit with those guys.
Oh, historically. I thought we were talking about this event.
Yeah, no, historically.
No, the fastest point ever was like 10 seconds or 12 seconds or something like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who?
I can't remember.
Can we pull that out of the archives?
Years and years ago. There's Zach Patient right there.
And he had a game. I mean,
he's
after having penalties.
He's only 19 years old, man.
After having penalties, you got to step up, and he did. You know, he knows that he did a mistake, and he's got to bring his team back. I got to throw the team on my back.
He did it. So here it is right here. And gets that last shot in. Nice angle right here. Right over Patient's back. Beautiful shot here is
quality camera angle. I mean, props to the webcasters.
Yeah, Avery's handling business out there.
You know,
the players are handling
Patrick,
business.
all those guys down below, all the production guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I can't hear you.
So here we go. This is it. 5-6. Vicious up a point against Chicago Aftershock. 35 seconds left to go here. This has been my best game of the tournament for me so far. This is amazing. I wish every game was like this.
I mean, are we going to see a point 5-on-5? That is going to be like one of the first since like the first 2 points.
Again, it's been a brutal, bloody, dirty game. That is the description for this matchup right here.
And it looks like they're going to run that same squad with Zach, Nick, Socene. They're going to do 2 back center.
So here we go.
X.
Both teams 5 strong. Look at
this. Going
this.
to the X, shooting 2 guys on Vicious.
Oh, wow. 2 guys
Zach
coming up.
Going to the 50. They're in the A.
Zach's trying to find someone to shoot.
Major 30 penalty. Seconds. It's going to turn to a 6-on-6.
It's going to be, that's the point.
This game is going to overtime, baby.
An immediate point for Aftershock as a major penalty assessed.
Huge.
I think on Parker Rosenthal, not sure. Oh, and just when he was starting to play well, looks like Parker got a major penalty. But even without that,
Coach Bruno right there, man. That was Coach Bruno making the call.
Mikey Bruno.
Mikey Bruno. Yo, that was one of his moves. That was like, if he was in the game, he'd say, I'm going to the X right now.
And I'm shooting
gonna
both
shoot
guys
two
off the
guys,
side.
and we're going to run this.
Wow, and that was an amazing point. And that was what? I was a 10-second point, 11-second point.
Wow.
That just set the new record for...
I think that just set the record.
I don't know. Again, historically, I'm not sure, but that was pretty close.
They didn't have to run in the flag. The buzzer just went.
Still, it's technically still.
We had to hustle back in the day, bro. We had to run, sweat, you know? That was awesome.
Wow. And just when we thought the game couldn't get any better.
Sorry if I was yelling real loud into your guys' speakers. My bad. I was getting happy and excited.
Excited match.
I love paintball.
Score 6-6, 22 seconds left. So technically, I mean, we could see something happen here, but it's probably going to go to overtime.
Aren't we going to see that major penalty still in the box?
Let's check out this replay, and I think that's what we're looking at right now. As now, right-hand part of your screen at the center A. That guy destroyed all of Vicious's Dorito side, and then he immediately knows what happens. He clears out that side. We've been in that position before. You clear out one side, boom, you run through, especially with a few seconds left. So amazing job by Chicago Aftershock to have not only the game plan, but the execution and the composure to make that happen. It definitely helped that there was a penalty thrown, but they were going to get that point anyway. That point was over.
Trevor Regan or Drew Templeton. Couldn't really see exactly who it was.
Amazing.
But that dude
amazing move.
Played awesome right there.
That was the move of the tournament so far. To run up to the A, which no one really has gone to and done anything substantial. Mows down the entire side for Vicious. That was amazing.
That was the move because of the situation that they were in. You know, they're down 6-5, 33 seconds left in the game, and he makes it happen. That's why it was the move.
Yes.
That's just a regular move out here.
Yeah,
but at the time,
because that's what it's about. Yeah, that's the definition of clutch right there. I mean, because I've seen a lot of guys, not a lot, but I've seen a decent amount of guys try to make that move up the center. Most of them get destroyed or go up there and don't do anything.
Yep.
You know?
And he's taken a different path than most. That's why he made it.
That was amazing. All right, so we got a timeout for Aftershock right now.
Smart, get the guys back, relax them, and that doesn't really help out Vicious that much because they've been sitting out in that sun. All the Aftershock guys catch their breath because they're going to run that same squad. I don't know why you would run any other squad. And Vicious is going to have a 2-minute major, start with 4 bodies. 1 minute before this game starts, and it's just been a battle.
Amazing job. Just like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Dye Precision, Empire Paintball, GI, and Planet Eclipse, all the big companies that make this possible.
RPS.
RPS.
It's a beautiful day today. It's nice and sunny.
It's
not too hot.
It's
not like the old Orlando.
Well, we got grace.
We're in Orlampa anyway.
Yeah, Orlampa.
Orlampa. You boys ever been to Orlampa?
Yes, I have actually.
I told someone from Florida. They're like, you know, where are you guys staying? I was like, Orlampa. They're like, where's that? I was like in between Orlando and Tampa. There's a sign.
Yeah, there's an actual sign. It says future home of downtown Orlampa.
Yeah. Here we are in the 10 seconds. This is going to be a battle right now. Vicious has to shoot someone on the break, Matt.
All right, here we go. This could be it. 22 seconds on the clock, tied up.
And they're going with the same play. Aftershock's going with the same play.
And he makes it up there.
And he makes it. Bodies are going.
And look at this. Here comes Slovac on the stun. He's all the way up there, too. Time ticking off 10 seconds.
He got that kill. Templeton.
I don't know if they're going to have enough time. 7-5. They're rushing it. They might have a chance. It's Sosine. Sosine about maybe a second away from hanging that flag.
Wow.
I mean, it just has been nothing but dramatic moments for this entire time. Wow.
Run out of time. We have a 2-minute break now. And then overtime will start. The penalty will carry over for Bishop.
Wow. Quite an amazing
back
game.
And forth.
Without a doubt, the best game that we have seen so far this event. Props to both these teams to even put this type of display on for us.
Don't they know they got another game after this?
They're going to have nothing left in the tank. Well, this is, again, it's like, Aftershock's only got 7 guys, which is cool for maybe your first, second, third, fourth, but you start getting deep into the tournament. Luckily, it's not hot. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. You know, it's not hot, which you're not sapping the energy too much. And if their cardio's good, then it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But we will see.
If they're doing the right things, you know, when people aren't looking and working out correctly and putting in the time and effort, then they should be able to do it. You know, 7 people's fine.
Got a question from PB Nation. Do you plan on keeping Brad McCurley and Damian Ryan around for next season?
Those are all things that, I want to happen. You know, I definitely want to keep those guys. Those guys are great players.
I think they're great pickups for you guys.
They fit right in with us.
There's also, you know, changes from the format this season, which I thought were a good idea. Just trying to make paintball as accessible as possible, you know, for everybody. It's bigger than, you know, paintball is big. Right now you're watching the peak of the mountain, tip of the sword, just whatever generic metaphor you want to use. But essentially you watch the best players. But paintball is so much bigger than this. So when decisions are made on format and style of play and everything, it's a much more comprehensive discussion than just what's good for these guys.
Yeah.
You know, so and that has to, you have to bear that in mind when you're having these, when you're talking about something like that.
What's good for the sport, what's good for TV, what's going to captivate and keep people interested in watching us run around with paintball guns and paintballs and shooting each other. I mean, it hasn't been easy to follow, you know, and we're trying to get there and we're trying to have it that way, and we are making it awesome with the webcast that we have right now. So right now we're in the 10 seconds, 4 for Vicious on 5 for Aftershock. They were on the same squad, same play, same play.
Here it is.
And
wow, they ran it 3 times in a row. He's made that.
Bortle's going to shoot him underneath the X, though.
That guy has no name. Who is that? He has no name on the back of his jersey.
Oh, that is Trevor Regan.
Wow, he is
Trevor Regan's coming to play.
Big time. Remember that name.
I've never even heard of Trevor.
3 times in a row, Aftershock has run that same play, though they lost the body. So, not looking good as that Shock loses player. Patient trying to get into Snake 1. He can't do it.
So coming
damage
across.
Control. It looks like he made it, too. And he's looking at...
Only 2 Aftershock guys. Oh, Regan.
Oh, Regan gets just stuffed.
Gets
handled by, I think that was...
He gets his skull just messed up.
Nice job. Zach Sherman. Nice move by Zach Sherman up the gut. Finally taking Regan out.
Smart move and staying alive. He didn't commit to just trading out.
Brian
he did a smart move.
is going to put the exclamation point on this game.
And give Sosine some and take some from his boys.
So congratulations to the Vicious crew.
Who win the Midwest battle.
Yeah, they win the Midwest battle. An absolute bloodbath of a game. I mean, I know sometimes we say that, but man, if you've ever, that's one of the best games I've seen this year for sure, and definitely in the past couple years.
Not so happy throwing his loader and his gun. That's not a smart move. He should be.
Well, and they only have 7 guys. If a ref saw that, he might get booted out.
There it is, and the ref did see it, and that's a smart move because you got to have safety for everyone else out here. Those tanks are pressurized to, you know, 4,500 PSI, man.
You can't lose. I mean, if you're gonna, okay, look, guys.
You could lose it.
Okay, if you're gonna lose it, I'm cool with people losing it. It's part of the game.
Yeah, hurt yourself,
you get hot.
not someone else.
But here's the thing: throw your goggles, whatever. But here's the deal: if you're gonna throw your gun and you want to like throw your gun down, walk back into the pit and chuck it into your bag. Do that. I know it sounds weak, but guess what? If you chuck your gun out there and the rest sees it, you're gonna get booted out.
I mean, what happens if it hits a stake?
Yeah,
and pierces that tank.
Yeah, it pierces the tank.
Come on,
I'm just saying.
Use your melon.
Yeah. All right. So here we go on the replay. And this is Brian Bortle
just sharking.
Yeah, look at it.
Shark
His way down.
attack.
And
then he took one from his buddy.
A little physical commentator. He actually put a little barrel. He actually put the barrel on him right there. So hell of a job by Brian Bortle and the rest of the Vicious crew. They are going to take this game 7-6 in the most hotly contested match we've seen here at the World Cup. That is why we watch paintball. That's why you play paintball, because one day maybe you're going to be in a battle like that. I want to go play right now. I mean, that was.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go for tomorrow. Yeah, it's. So anyway, great job by Vicious and Shock, man. Props to them. I mean, Shock ran that same play up the gut, even to keep in it and win that last-minute point. So amazing game. Anyway, don't go anywhere.
Thanks for having me up here, Matty.
No problem, Nicky Cuba. Best of luck in everything you do. Hit him up online.
Empire Paintball.
Next up, we got Dynasty taking on Impact. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.